Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 19 of the Sam Hossack Media Podcast. It's an honor to welcome today's guest. She just finished her freshman season with the Ohio State Buckeyes, is a native of Port Moody, BC, and won a silver medal with Team Canada at the under 18s. Not a big deal. Please welcome Jenna Buglioni.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. We're going to jump right into things here. From Port Moody, and you played for the Greater Vancouver Comets for 3 seasons. Talk about your time there and how amazing it was to be able to play at home for that long.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I played at the Greater Vancouver Comets, like you said, for 3 years, and that's really close to my house. So it was really nice to be able to stay at my home school and be with my family since I knew that I was going to be moving away for university. And then one of my teammates at Ohio State, Jennifer Gardner, she was also at Greater Vancouver Comets playing. So that was really nice for us to be able to have 2 years there together and then come off to OSU together.
Now, talk about getting the call from Hockey Canada for the under 18s. How special is that to be able to go overseas and represent your country?
Yeah, for sure. We had selection camp like in August, so I was in Calgary for a week, and then they kind of do like their little exit interviews or kind of whatever, tell you, oh yeah, like yes, you're gonna go to Lake Placid to play the series, or no, sorry, like thank you for um, being here and trying out. And then I made that Lake Placid series, so that was really cool going over there and playing the US for 3 game series. And then it was kind of a couple months later, and I got a call. I was driving home from school with my dad, and like that was the coolest experience to share that with my dad and then call my mom. So it was really cool. I know that there's a lot of girls that would have loved the opportunity to be that, so I'm very grateful that I got to go over to Slovakia and play in the Worlds there.
Now, take us through the moment you walk into a locker room and see your name on a Hockey Canada jersey. Just what is going through your head?
Um, as a young girl playing hockey in Canada, it's always kind of a dream to put the maple leaf on your chest. So being able to see your jersey with your name on it and be surrounded by all the girls who it's also their first time. It's kind of when you're the U18, like if you make that team, that's your first ever moment seeing your Hockey Canada jersey, and it was something super special. I'll never forget walking into that locker room.
Now, heading into the tournament, what were kind of some of your expectations? And had you ever even been to Slovakia, and what was your overall experience there?
For sure, I've never been to Slovakia before, so that was cool. It was over Christmas time, so I actually left on like December the 18th and didn't come back till January. So I was actually gone over Christmas Day. So that was a bit different, not kind of knowing how the holidays were going to be around there, but it was super cool. Hockey Canada did a really good job of making us kind of feel like we were still like getting to celebrate Christmas and stuff. But then just for hockey, obviously I knew that we'd be one of the top competitors and know that we'd probably go head to head with the US at least once or twice in the tournament. So it was a really cool experience. I've never played until I guess I came to college now, that level of play. And it was a bit of an adjustment, but it was so much fun.
Now, take us through the gold medal game. Obviously, Canada falls short, but just talk about being able to have a medal around your neck at the end of that game.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a nail biter. It's tough to lose in overtime. It's any overtime loss is a heartbreaker, and especially to the US, just because, you know, anybody that knows hockey knows the rivalry there. But I mean, that experience of even being there in the first place is something that I never take for granted because I know that there's a lot of people that don't get that opportunity. But yeah, the game was definitely very fast paced, back and forth. Yeah, like you said, just coming up short, but getting to have a medal from international tournament is something super special.
Now, transitioning into Ohio State, take us through the recruiting process and how did you know Ohio was the school to go to?
Yeah, for sure. I think I committed here in my sophomore year of high school. Um, I toured a couple places, and Ohio State was kind of my last stop on the way back home. And I just fell in love with the school instantly when I was on campus. Coach Muzz and everybody made me feel so welcome. Like the culture on our team here is something that I don't think you see in a lot of places. And I just knew that this is where I wanted to be. And after my first year here, I can say very, very confidently that like I'm in the right place. I'm with the right people. So yeah, that was kind of my experience.
Now, take us through your first NCAA game. Who was it against, and what were the nerves going through your head?
Yeah. Our first games, I mean, the first half of the season we had Minnesota, Wisconsin. So knowing that our first games were against the top teams in the country was very, very nerve wracking for me. We were actually um, at Ritter for our first games. So, I mean, I feel like I would have been equally as nervous no matter who we played. But I think it was just the excitement of I've been waiting to get here to this moment, and just kind of not expecting like not knowing kind of what to expect, knowing that these girls are very elite, but once you get out on the ice you're like, wow, they're all so good. It was a big jump, but after playing for a while and kind of getting in the groove, it was really fun. It was really good.
Now, obviously, you start your freshman year in the middle of a pandemic. So just take us through some of the struggles and how hard the season became at some points.
Yeah, it was for sure struggles throughout the year, just with kind of the unknowns. When we first got here, we didn't even know if we were going to have a season. So that was a little bit tough, but we came to the rink every day with kind of a plan, like we got to prepare like we have a season. We're going to be better for it. And that was kind of one thing that was the biggest struggle, is not knowing kind of what was going on and kind of trying to navigate freshman year and all the new schooling, all the new places, the new hockey, and then also the like not knowing. And then for me, like family is a really big aspect in my life, and my family wasn't able to come at all this year, so that was a little bit hard for me as well. But being around the girls every day kind of helped ease that a little bit. It gave a sense of family, even though my family wasn't able to come out.
Now, how easy was it to kind of be able to balance school and be able to still compete every day as an athlete?
Yeah, for the first part of the year, since we didn't have games regularly, it was a little bit easier kind of just to get into a routine of that, since we weren't traveling or didn't have games on the weekend. But the professors and everybody here, all of our academic advisors, do a really good job of making sure that they give us the tools to succeed. So I think that I didn't have like too much trouble kind of finding my own routine. I feel like a lot of girls can say that it's really like being able to crack down on that time that you have to get your schoolwork done. So I was able to kind of do that either before practice or when I got home, and kind of eliminate a bunch of stuff that we'd have to do for the weekend.
Now, if you had one this year, what is your most embarrassing moment in a game?
Oh, in a game? Oh, I don't know. There's probably quite a few. Um, I can't think of anything specific, but I'm a smaller player, so it's probably a time that I got like cranked or like hit into the boards or something, or I got like popped in the head and my like cage was probably up like that. I think that was probably one time when we were against Minnesota. I turned around and the girl was right there and she went like that, and my helmet was like all back, and I'm like, what is going on? But that, yeah, I can't really think of anything specific.
Now, obviously, you guys got to go on a few road trips this year. So, what one was your favorite, and why?
What one was my favorite? I all of them have very like special memories, but I would say Duluth this year was a little bit crazy for us. So I would say Duluth, just because there was so many different things that happened. Obviously, the first game didn't go that well. So the first night was not great, but the second game we won, and that was like the first time that we had won in Duluth in a very, very long time, because we didn't have very good luck there the previous years. So kind of having that relief of, oh my gosh, we just won in their rink. So that was pretty special. I think it was like the first time that Coach Muzz had gotten a win there with the Buckeyes. So that was kind of a nice moment for us to just be like, oh, the curse has been lifted.
Now, heading into playoffs, obviously, you guys were one of the top seeds, and to win the final face-off tournament, just take us through the moment that final buzzer goes off. Did you guys kind of know that you had a chance to win, and how exciting was it when you guys got that win?
Yeah. Well, I wasn't here last year when the girls actually won it. So this year when we went to final face-off, we were kind of hoping that we could do that again. All those girls had like experienced that taste. That was the first ever final face-off for the Buckeyes for our program. So we're kind of hoping that we could get that win again. But obviously, Wisconsin kind of took that from us. But that game was a very good game. All the games that we've kind of played against them have been tight, but even though we didn't win, we were still hoping that we would get that bid to the top 8, and luckily we did. So we were kind of just like, oh yeah, like this win like really sucks, but let's get back to work and hope that we get another chance.
Now, take us into the Frozen Four there. You guys make the top 8, so just take us through being in a national tournament like that.
Yeah, that was something super cool because being able to win a national championship is very hard. There's a lot of very top teams all over the country, and it's a grind. It's all year long. You got to perform your best. So we were happy when our name got called, and we saw that we were playing Boston College, and that was a cool experience because we hadn't had any out of conference games this season, just obviously due to COVID. And it was also a little bit of kind of like a rematch because our seniors this year in their freshman year played Boston College and knocked them out. So we knew that Boston College was going to have a bit of a vendetta. So that was something super cool. And then being able to get that win and go to Frozen Four was super special. Like that's kind of what you look forward to for the whole year.
Now, talk about being able to play out of conference. Obviously, you guys didn't get to do that this year up until Boston College. So how special was that, and how do you kind of prepare for that, seeing as you didn't play that team all year?
Yeah, it was cool. I was not quite sure what to expect. The style of hockey is a little bit different. I mean, that's kind of, you can see that with any team in any conference. There's going to be a bit of a difference, but we just tried to prepare as best as we could, watching film and in practice. So when we got to play, it was cool to play somebody different that we hadn't played. So that was exciting.
Now, do you guys continue watching after your season ends? Obviously, it's kind of tough to continue to watch thinking, oh, that could have been me. But did you guys end up watching the Frozen Four, and were you surprised that Wisconsin came out with the win?
Yeah, we for sure watched it. It was a little bit hard, but both Northeastern and Wisconsin are very good programs. So we were expecting it to be a good game like that. I think any of the teams in the top four, if we were in the finals, it would be a really good game. I mean, we've played Wisconsin all year long, and we know kind of the firepower they have. So I'm not surprised that they won. I mean, if Northeastern won as well, then like we know that all the teams across the NCAA have that really top caliber, but Wisconsin's just like they're clutch. So
Now, this year, one of your 8 goals was against Wisconsin. So just talk about scoring against a national championship team.
yeah, that was actually my first ever career goal was against Wisconsin, and that was something I'll never forget. It was such a cool experience. We were at our home rink. It kind of like didn't get much better with that. Like all my teammates were so happy. I was happy. Just getting the monkey off the back against like a number one team was something that was cool. But I just kind of happened to be in the right place at the right time. The puck, it was a rebound. The puck just kind of was there. So I guess it was just a little bit of luck. But a goal is a goal, so we'll take it.
Now, were your parents able to watch that game and see your first goal, or did you have to send it to them after?
Yeah, they were able to watch that game. They were super excited.
Absolutely, and we'll transition into some fun questions about your team. Who is the messiest on the team?
Oh, I mean, my roommate would probably want me to say myself because she thinks I'm a little bit messy, but I don't know. I think maybe our Finns, so Eve and Sarah, they're a little bit messy.
Now, biggest and worst TikToker on the team.
Best and worst TikToker. Biz for sure. Madison Bizal, number 9. She's got the moves. Worst TikToker. I don't really know if we have a worst TikToker. I mean, there's some girls that are a little bit better at dancing than the others, but I mean, we all just kind of do it for fun. So I wouldn't say that we got a worst TikToker.
Now, there's a trend. If there was one girl on the team that you wouldn't let date your brother, who would it be and why?
Oh. um, I don't know. That's a tough question. They're all very nice ladies. I think I would approve any of them. They're all super nice. Um, yeah, I can't think of one. I don't know. Oh, super nice. Yeah, I can't think of one.
Who is the loudest in the dressing room and on the ice?
Oh, there's for sure more than one that takes the cake. Like I could name off at least 4 right now. Emma Malte, Tatum Skaggs, Peyton Levis, and they're for sure the top 3 loudest ones in the dressing room and on the ice. They for sure bring a lot of energy to our locker room, so they're for sure the loudest.
Now, who runs the music in the dressing room, and is it good or bad?
Madison Bazal runs it, and it's really good. I love it.
Now, talk about the chemistry that your team kind of had this year. Obviously, going as far as you guys did, the team must have been pretty close.
Yeah. The girls have before me and the coaches have done a really good job of creating a culture here that is really something that's special to be a part of. And I think this year we were just able to get that much closer. We weren't really able to kind of hang out with other teams and stuff just with COVID. We kept it just to our group. And I think that kind of pushed us to find new ways to be together. And so I think that really helped us, and all knowing that we were all going through the same like worries and struggles with COVID. Just kind of knowing like, hey, I can look to the girl on my right, I can look to the girl on my left, and we're all going through the same thing. So I think it brought like just a real like piece of sisterhood to our locker room this year. So yeah.
Now, obviously, at Ohio State, there's a rich history for many sports. So, heading into your second year there, what's the biggest sport at Ohio State that you're looking forward to actually going to attend a game?
Yeah. I think for sure football. You can't really beat the Ohio State Buckeyes um, at being in that atmosphere. Everybody lives and breathes Ohio State football here. So just being able to see, not even just in the stadium, but how everybody around the around campus, around the houses near campus, kind of are on game days is something that I'm pretty sure is wild, and it's such a cool experience to kind of just like see that pride in your school.
Now, a discussion I've had with some other female athletes when the Frozen Four for the women's was on, they were showing it on tsn.ca up here in Canada. As you would know what that is, equivalent to ESPN for the American listeners, but um, they were showing the Frozen Four games. And when the men's tournament came around, they showed the regionals and Frozen Four on tsn.ca. So just talk about the opportunities women's and men's sports in the NCAA should have, and what do you look forward to seeing in the next couple of years for that?
Yeah, I mean, I think the women's side of the game is still trying to get um, to that level of being shown. The talent is for sure here. It's just kind of waiting for that recognition and that opportunity. And it's for sure getting better. It's for sure making strides in the right direction. And I think I'm hopeful that it just keeps like building up and keeps getting better.
Absolutely, and for the Canadian listeners, obviously here, Arian Frankel and Emma Maltese, who've been both guests on this show, are about to compete at their world championships for their countries. So you obviously play with Emma. So just talk about the level of play she has and how special it is to see her competing for Canada.
Yeah, she's such a special player. She's so talented, and she's very hardworking and passionate about everything she does. Being able to watch her in practice is something that's super special. I think this year we were roommates on the road this year, and that was something really special for me, just to kind of see what makes her tick and kind of see how she kind of gets in the zone for game days. I think she's taught me a lot this past year, and being able to see her get her opportunity is something that I'm so happy for her. I'm so proud. Like she has such like great things ahead for her. So it's really special to see that um, she's at selection camp, and hopefully we'll get that opportunity to be at Worlds coming up here.
Now, obviously, in the middle of the season, the NHL comes back. Obviously, you're focusing on the season, but when things kind of wrapped up, I'm guessing, kind of got into the NHL again. But being from Vancouver, is Vancouver your team? And if not, who?
I'm not gonna lie, I don't watch a lot of NHL. Like if I don't have homework or like if it's on, I'll watch it, but I'm not like die hard. But yeah, Vancouver's for sure my team. So yeah, if I do watch, I try to watch them.
Now, obviously, they're going through a lot with the whole COVID situation. So being from Vancouver, how hard was it to kind of hear, oh my gosh, our team's got this terrible thing going on?
Yeah, it was for sure hard. You don't really wish COVID upon anybody. And just the fact that like the whole team got it it was tough to see kind of, oh, I feel like it would be tough for any team, whether I like them or not. It's for sure not something that you hope to see anybody has to go through.
Now, obviously, as you mentioned, not getting in the NHL as much with obviously focusing on school, but how cool is it to see an all Canadian division?
Yeah, it's for sure something that's special. I mean, it's probably hard on the travel a little bit more for those guys, especially the Vancouver guys. They're traveling very far for every game, but yeah, it's cool to see the Canadian teams all kind of going at it.
Now, the Olympics are coming back next year, and obviously, a big part of the Olympics is hockey. So, if you were on the selection committee for the men's and women's team, who are some of the big people that you would choose for Hockey Canada?
Oh, oh wow. Um, well, I think like men's, you kind of there's the obvious like the Sidney Crosby, John Tavares, like kind of maybe throw in like some of the young guns in there. Um, and then women's, it's you kind of have like a lot of the same girls there too as last Olympics, like Poulin. Um, I know at camp there's like Spooners there, Mickelson. They've all had Olympic experience. I mean, I'm a bit biased, but I'm hoping Emma Malte, putting her on that list. I really hope that she gets that opportunity. That would be just so amazing to have one of your teammates play in the Olympics. But we also do have some of our other teammates that are from Europe that have been to the Olympics, which like I think is so cool. That's my dream one day. So yeah.
That would absolutely, yeah, for sure would be an honor. Now, one of the things that is huge for Canadians growing up is the World Juniors. So take us through some of the memories you have of watching those games.
Yeah, that's something. World Juniors is really big, obviously. Kind of everybody that plays hockey, I guess, tunes in around that time of year. Um, One of the special memories I had was a few years ago when it was in Vancouver. I was able to go and like watch some of those games. So to be there live and be in that atmosphere in Rogers Arena, which is where they were playing, was um, it was really cool to see just how the country kind of comes together to cheer on the boys. And yeah.
Yeah, and absolutely. That obviously was a tough year this year for us, falling short of the Americans, but
Yeah.
just like Jonathan Taves in the shootout years ago and
Hmm.
big save by Carey Price, or I think the biggest one was Jordan Everly. Like, that's got to be the,
Yeah.
for sure, the biggest goal.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, have you been able to attend a game at Rogers Arena, and how cool of an experience is that for an NHL game?
Yeah, I love being at Rogers Arena. My parents actually have like a season's pass so that we were able to get to like some of the games. I love it. I love Rogers Arena. I've been able to skate there a couple times, so that's nice to kind of like see not just the ice, but like being kind of behind the scenes has been cool.
Yeah, being able to sit at Rogers Arena, not a big deal. Just helpful brag there a little bit for all the other players on the show here. Now, obviously, they've got a good young team. Quinn Hughes, Bo Horvat. So, who, if you were to choose on the team, are some of your favorite guys to kind of watch?
Mhm. Yeah, well, I really like watching Pedersen. He's such a skilled player. He's really cool to watch. I really like watching JT Miller play because I think he's a good mixture between skill but he's also got like that kind of fire to him, and he's not gonna kind of take any crap from anybody. So I like watching him play.
Yeah, for sure. He's a good player, and he doesn't take any crap from the NHL either. He obviously sounded off the other day, and
Yeah.
everyone's kind of been agreeing with him. But heading into next year for the freshman class that's coming in, what's the biggest advice that you could give to someone coming into Ohio State?
Probably just like don't take anything for granted. I mean, it's a little bit cliche, but um, they've probably experienced the incoming class. I mean, at least for the girls in Canada that I know back at home on the West Coast, like they didn't get any games this year. They did not play any part of their season. So I think like never take for granted that opportunity to step on the ice and like be around your teammates, because especially in a pandemic, like you never know when it could be taken away. And I like my freshman year blew by so fast. It felt like the longest, but also the shortest year. So I know that the next 3 years is also going to be like that. So just like take in every moment, because it's gonna go by fast.
Now, obviously, with the way COVID is right now, there's obviously restrictions down there. So, what are you looking forward most to be able to do when all the restrictions are lifted?
Here in Columbus,
Yeah.
um, I don't know, probably just be able to, I mean, yeah, probably just be able to like meet the other teams and like just be able to hang out and like go out for dinner downtown and like kind of explore what Columbus has to offer. I feel like um, us freshmen this year, we didn't really get too much of an opportunity to see like what Columbus has just due to COVID, and that's okay. We know that we'll have more years to see it, but that's kind of something I'm excited for.
And right now, what's it like? What are some of the protocols you guys got to follow for class and stuff?
Most of us have our classes online, so we're not really having to go into class and like have all these restrictions. But my first semester, I had one class that was in person, so you kind of just stay distance, wearing your mask, like sanitizing the desk that you're sitting at, and that's kind of it. Like there wasn't really too much else, but the university here at OSU does a really good job of like making sure everybody's getting tested. Like they have everybody on campus and off campus living getting tested, and then obviously all the athletes are getting tested. So yeah, they do a good job here of making sure that everybody's kind of following the rules.
Now, kind of take us through on a game day. You guys were getting tested, I think, every day, as Emma and Peyton was saying. So, how used to it were you after like the first week or two?
Yeah, after the first bit, it was kind of just routine, go in, do the swab, and then kind of just get out. But yeah, for like a game day for us, kind of like Peyton and Emma said in their call, was like going to get tested, and then on Fridays, like we'll have pregame skate. So we'll go to the rink, do that, and then we'll like usually eat together and then go home, kind of get your fancy dress clothes on and come back to the rink, and then obviously so like start doing warm up, and kind of everybody has their own little things that they need to do before the game. So kind of just getting into that.
Now, who's got the best style off the ice on the team?
Off the ice. Oh, there's a lot of girls that really have good style. Like I'd say Emma has good style, Gabby Rosenthal, good style. Eve and Brooke, their style is really like unique. So like it's probably not something that I would ever try to wear, but like they can rock it. So props to them. But yeah, a lot of girls on our team take a lot of pride. Like Lisa Bruno's always dolled up, and all the girls kind of love that stuff. So it's always something new and exciting when you see what people are going to roll into the rink with.
Now, has there been at any point this year where someone's worn something to the rink and you're just kind of like, oh, like, I don't know?
No, I think most of the time it's all good. Everybody usually wears stuff that people are like, oh, that's so cute. We love that. So, yeah.
Now, heading into your second season with Ohio State next year, what road trip are you hoping you guys kind of get to go on that classes in the past have been able to go on?
Yeah. Well, this year we didn't get to travel out to Bemidji or Mankato or St. Cloud. We didn't get to go out there. So, I mean, obviously, like, I just kind of want to see those places. I'm not sure what they're like, so it'll be cool. But I think I'm just excited to see where maybe some out of conference games might take us. I don't know if there's plans for that next season or what kind of it's going to look like, but I think that's something that I'm going to be excited for, is to go somewhere like kind of totally new.
And then obviously heading into your second season, what are you most excited about being able to come back and play again?
I love everything about being a Buckeye. So just being able to put that jersey back on and go out and play. I think that we had such a great season last year that we're just gonna keep building this upcoming season.
Now, what is your favorite Ohio State Buckeyes jersey that you guys wore this year?
I have to say the black jerseys we wore were super sick. They just bring another like level of energy to the locker room. You're like, oh, these are so cool. Not a lot of people have kind of jerseys with that style.
Now, at universities down in the States, there's always kind of a rivalry between the men's and women's teams on every campus. So, who's the better team at Ohio State?
I think this season we had such a stellar season, so I think we might win this season. The men we're struggling a little bit this year, but in I know Emma kind of said this in the past. The men's program has been very good, and I think they have that standard of being one of the better teams. So I think in the upcoming years, if we can kind of keep building up and they can hold where they're at, I think it's pretty even.
Absolutely. Well, on behalf of the listeners, I'd like to thank Jenna for hopping on here today. It was an honor to chat Ohio State hockey with you and just talk hockey.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me.